Welcome in, everybody. Out of the Park Baseball. It is the 4-3 Washington Olympics at the 4-2 Philadelphia Athletics. Should be a great one here tonight. Coming to you live from the Jefferson Street grounds in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Let's go over the starting lineups, shall we? I prefer not to speak. So if I speak, no, but I get it. I honestly wasn't feeling great yesterday either, so I'm kind of grateful, given the fact that I was getting a really bad headache and whatnot. It kind of all worked out. I actually went to bed around. I went up to bed at 8:30, and then I fell asleep at 10. And you guys know I usually stream to like 11:30, so I was that tired. I do feel a lot better. I got 9.5 hours sleep. It was great. Right, let's go over your starting lineups for these two teams. The 4-3, starting with the visiting 4-3 Washington Olympics. Second baseman Ed Duffy's going to lead off, batting .231, 2 RBIs so far this season. Tom Foley, the center fielder, will bat second. He's got a 133 average so far with 4 RBIs. Ned Cuthbert was going to be batting third, the left fielder. He is batting .207 with 1 RBI so far this season. John Bass, the shortstop, bats fourth. He's their big moneymaker right now, batting .361, 1 home run, 8 RBIs. Charlie Gold bats fifth, the first baseman. Currently batting .267, 1 home run, 4 RBIs as well. John Ratcliffe will bat sixth. He's the third baseman, batting .286, 7 RBIs. Batting seventh is Charlie Mills, the catcher. He's batting .238 with 4 RBIs. Tom Berry, only five at bats this season, is currently going to bat eighth. The right fielder gets the call up. He is looking for his first hit. And Al Pratt, the pitcher, batting .217, bats ninth. He's got 2 RBIs as well. On the home side for the Philadelphia Athletics, batting first is John Hatfield, the left fielder. He's batting .111 so far this season. Only 9 RBIs, though, or 9 at-bats, though. Nice goal. Batting second is Scott Hastings, the catcher. He's batting .269, 3 RBIs. Tom York, center fielder, bats third, .308 with 4 RBIs. Third baseman Ed Pinkham will bat fourth. He's batting .360 with 2 RBIs. Dickie Pierce, the shortstop, bats fifth. He's batting .478 so far this season. Fantastic batting average. He's got 3 RBIs. Dick Higham, the second baseman, will bat sixth, batting .269. He's got 6 RBIs. He's the team leader for the Athletics. Batting seventh is Neely Phelps, the first baseman. He's batting .250 with 1 RBI so far this season. Frank Barrows bats eighth, batting .222 with 2 RBIs. And Bobby Matthews, the pitcher, will bat ninth. He's batting .231 so far this season. Your pitching matchup: Al Pratt on the mound for the Washington Olympics, 4-3 with a 2.43 ERA and a 1.2 WHIP. Bobby Matthews takes the mound for Philadelphia. He is 4-2 with a 1.87 ERA. He has a 1.21 WHIP. That's the matchup. Let's get into the game. 1,089 expected to be in attendance. Wind is blowing in from the left at 12 miles an hour. It's a cool yet enjoyable 63 degrees for those that use centigrade. That is about 17 maybe? Yeah, that's 17 degrees. Well, welcome in. You'll be lurking, baseball fan? Okay, sounds good. You're tired and injured. What's the injury, Swanky? What'd you do? Right. We are ready. I have to go back very quickly. Just very, very quickly. And I have to close a tab. So we're just gonna. I have to close a. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. There we go. We're all set. Awesome. Awesome sauce. Yeah. Cool. We're ready to go. Jefferson Street grounds. It's 2:05 first pitch. And here comes that first pitch. We are ready to get underway here. Here's the first pitch. That's outside, ball one to Ed Duffy. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed. That's 1-1. You played football earlier, blocked the shot off my toe, instant pain. Oh. You should see a doctor, man. That might, hopefully that's not any, anything bad, but you should see a doctor, man. You have to wait an hour to go see a run, or to go on your run. Must be nice to be able to, safely do things outside at night, like traverse the city, walk around, take a run. I don't know what that's like. Or at least, at the very least, I don't know what that's like without having to fear for my safety. So, right, here's the 1-1 pitch. That's outside, ball two. I mean, out here where I live, it's not an issue, but I certainly couldn't do that back in the city. That's for sure. Hope it's not bad, but gonna rest it this week away from footy. Okay. Right, here we go. 2-1 pitch. That's popped into right field. That is a base hit. Ed Duffy's going to lead off with a base hit here in the bottom or the top of the first. And excuse me while I have to moderate. Start my season and all my center backs are injured. Rough times. Rough times. You hate to see it. That was like that time. That was like that time I had 5 of my 6 wingers injured. Nice. Here's the first pitch to Tom Foley now. He's going to sack bunt this down. Second baseman comes over. They do make the play. Yeah, but it was more than that, but it was something like that, Swanky. I think one of them, Na Sung Yun, really got injured, came back, and immediately got injured during the game he came back in. Right. Here's Ned Cuthbert. He is going to lead it off, or he's going to take first pitch for a ball. 1-0. He's not leading it off, but he takes first pitch for a ball. Runner on second, 1 out. Here's the 1-0. That's high. Ball 2. Nice. Here's the 2-0. That's fouled back to the backstop. It's 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. He's popped this up. That's going to go into the crowd, though. The 2-2 pitch. Grounded over to short. And it's a bad fielding error. It is an E6. The error goes to shortstop Dickie Pierce. And that's runners on the corners now, 1 out. That brings up John Bass. John Bass. That's he's the shortstop. Runners on the corners. Here's the first pitch. That's grounded foul. Now that's lovely. You're going to Portugal tomorrow? That's nice. Here's the 0-1. That's taken low. Ball 1. Here's the 1-1. Called strike 2 to throw over to second. It's in time. Cuthbert is caught stealing. He's gunned down. That's the second out of the inning. Here's the 1-2. He's popped it up over towards the second baseman. He'll make the play, and that will retire the side. No runs on 1 hit. They leave 1 aboard. We go bottom first. There is no score. We are going to take a quick 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just a minute and a half. Right, welcome back. Bottom first here in Philadelphia. There is no score. John Hatfield will lead it off here for Philadelphia. You figured out how to see past chats without the VOD. Nice. Here's the first pitch from Al Pratt. It's taken below the knees for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Inside, ball 2. It's 2-0. By the way, guys, my haircut is next week. So what are you gonna do when all this goes? Gonna be back to being beardless again. Here's the 2-0. That's swung. That's lined right at the second baseman for the first out. That brings up Scott Hastings, the catcher. Here's the first pitch to him. And that's taken for a called strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's outside. Ball 2. Or ball 1. What the hell? What is that? What? Here's the 1-1. That's grounded back to the screen. Here's the 1-2. That's taken inside, ball 2. What picture to text ratio is too bad for a news site? What? What's up, Kit? How you doing? Welcome in. Someone gave me bits and told me they're broke and hit them back up with bits. Am I right to ban them, Benny? I mean, what do you mean to hit them back up with bits? I'm not sure I understand what you mean, Skull. Here's the 2-2. That's high, ball 3. Oh, did somebody come into your chat and say they're broke and they wanted bits from you? Yeah, 100% I would ban that person. Here's the 3-2. It's swung on, popped up over by the first baseman, and he will grab it. That'll be the second out. Charlie Gold gets credited with the put out. Welcome in, Kit. I'm doing a dumb website for a dumb joke starting in Ankstream, and I hate the layout. Okay. Yeah, I would just ban them, Skull. Yeah, in all honesty. I literally banned somebody today, and I wasn't even live at the time. Right. That brings up Tom York, center fielder. Here's the first pitch to him. Oh, that's a good swing into right field. Right fielder's coming in for it, though. And that will be the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We go top second. Scoreless here in Philadelphia. What up, Pix? Yeah, I would honestly, Skull, I would anytime like that, it's a ban. Honestly, because they're trying to scam you, usually. And it's not worth it. This second inning brought to you by Pixelated Suits. Give them a follow if you haven't already. Here they are playing a new skate game. They also play Football Manager, the Oblivion remake, Battlefield 6, Rematch. Oh, you held that for a while, man. Is this? Oh, I think this is the nice. How you feeling after last night with that long stream from Ankley? Yeah, she streamed long, man. Right, Charlie Gold will step in here. Here's the first pitch to him. That's a ball. 1-0. Here's a 1-0. Below the knees, 2-0. Here's the 2-0. That's ripped into left field for a base hit. And once again, the leadoff runner for Washington is aboard here in the second. That brings up John Ratcliffe. Not Ratcliffe, Radcliffe. Here's the first pitch to Radcliffe. That's a called strike. Throw over to second. Not in time. And Gold has a stolen base. What? What are you talking about, Swanky? Here's the 0-1 to Radcliffe. That's way high. 1-1. Here's the 1-1. That is below the knees. 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's grounded over to the shortstop. On to first, it's a really bad throw. And that's going to be extra bases. Radcliffe is aboard on another E6. 2 innings in, 2 errors from Dickie Pierce. And Radcliffe will take second off the back of it. Gold will go to third. Brain broke, maybe unrelated. How about you? Yeah. That's funny. Players called Dickie and Dick on the same team. Welcome to the U.S., man. It's like a very common name here. Charlie Mills, 2 up next, the catcher. Second and third. And nobody out here for Washington. First pitch grounded back to the backstop. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Grounded over to the second baseman. On to first. That's in time for the first out of the inning. What, Dick is a common name? Dick is a common name in the U.S. Dickie, Dick, Richard, and Rich, all common. That brings up Tom Berry. Here's the first pitch. Still looking for his first hit this season. He's going to fly this out to right field. Right fielder coming in. He'll make the play. The throw over to home, and I don't think they've tagged up. It was too shallow. They don't tag up. And now leaves second and third. Nobody out for Al Pratt, the pitcher. Here's the first pitch to Pratt. That's inside for a ball. Here's the 1-0. That's a called strike, 1-1. There's the 1-1. Inside, ball 2. Here's the 2-1. And it's hit him. Plunked. He was plunked. Al Pratt is hit by the pitch. Going to bed, catching tomorrow if you're online. Sounds good, Swanky. Have a great night's sleep, man. Take care of yourself, man. I'll definitely talk to you tomorrow, probably. So Ed Duffy, who singled in the last inning, is now up. Bases loaded. And 2 men out. Here's the first pitch. That's inside for a ball. Here's the 1-0. Called strike. 1-1. There's the 1-1 pitch. Grounded over to the shortstop. He's got it. On to second for 1. That's all they're going to get. And the side is retired. That's all they get because that's the last out. 1 run. No runs on 1 hit. And they leave the bases loaded. We go to the bottom second. Still no score. We're going to take a 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just a minute and a half. Right, welcome back. Bottom second. And Pinkham is up to the plate. And he is going to take this first pitch. Hot dogs, get your hot dog, get your slumpy glizz. I hate the fact that you called them glizzies. That's a called strike. What's up, First Goal Series? How you doing, man? 1-0 to Ed Pinkham. How you doing, man? Can't apparently. There we go. Right. Welcome to 1871. By the way, here's the 0-1. That's chop foul. It'll be 0-2. Here's the 0-2. That's grounded to the backstop. Have you come here to torture me? There is some club football this weekend. There are 5 games in the MLS this weekend. Here's the 0-2. That's lined right at the shortstop, and that is going to be the first down of the inning. Yeah, all the teams that had makeup. Well, first off, it's not new that MLS plays through the international breaks. They did back in May and June. But all the teams that basically they had to give time off of because they made a deep Champions League run, like the Whitecaps, or they were in the Club World Cup, like Seattle and LA Scum C and Inter Miami. They all have makeup games. Or they made a deep run in the Leagues Cup, like LA Galaxy. They all have a makeup game that they have to make or play. So they're being played this weekend. Nice FGS. Right, here's the first pitch to Dickie Pierce, the shortstop. That's below the knees for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. It's lined deep into right center field. Still going back there and making the play at the warning track is going to be center fielder Tom Foley. And that's 2 outs here in the bottom second. That's going to bring up Dick Higham, second baseman. Here's the first pitch to him. That's below the knees for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Chop foul to the backstop. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Line to the left field. Left fielder coming in for it. He's got it. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We go top third. It's a scoreless game here at the Jefferson Street ground. Yeah, I have a sports score bot that updates me whenever somebody scores in the baseball. I actually have the game on as well on the side monitor. I wish the Phillies did something. I mean, I feel like the Phillies this series has been like poking with a stick and going, come on, do something, you know? This third inning brought to you by Swanky Pants. Call of Duty, Football Manager. Also a bit of FIFA. If you're not already following them, give them a follow. It's Swanky Pants 10. Honestly, FGS, my mantra for the AL was anyone but the Yankees. We're going to get that. My mantra for the NL is obviously the Phillies, but if we're not going to get the Phillies, anyone but the Dodgers. Right, it's going to be Tom Foley up first in the top third. And that's below the knees for a ball, 1-0. Foley had a sac bunt in his first at bat. Here's the 1-0. That's grounded right to the shortstop. And again, for the third time in as many innings, a runner is aboard on an E6. Dickie Pierce has got his third error of the game. That's a brilliant picture. I'm immediately stealing that and putting it in banter in my Discord. That's hilarious. That's so good. That is so good. Nice. Charlie Austin pushed your buttons today. I do not know who that is. I don't know if I would be a successful football commentator. Right, that's going to bring up Ned Cuthbert. He's 0 for 1, having reached via an error his last at bat. He's going to sack bunt this over. Pitcher comes over, and that is going to be the out. Foley will go to second. Now there's one on, one out. John Bass comes to the plate now. He is 0 for 1. He popped up his last at bat. The Southampton and QPR striker? Why do you say that? Did he ruin a bet or something? Here's the first pitch. It's raining. The rain delay. Hold on. It's raining. Lurk, you got it. The rain comes down here in Philly. It's pretty heavy. And after a 15-minute delay, we're ready to resume baseball. Here's the pitch to John Bass, and that's called strike 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's outside. Ball 1. Well, that would explain your ire. Here's the 0-1. That is, or the 1-1. That is crushed into right field. Right fielder going back, though. He's going to make the play. And that will be the second out of the inning. Here's the first pitch to Charlie Gold. That one's fouled back into the crowd. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's a called strike. It's 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Take an eye for a ball, 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, into center field it goes. Center fielders come over. He will make the play, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, one man left on base. We go bottom third. We are still scoreless here in Philadelphia. Neely Phelps will be the first man up. We are going to take a 90-second timeout. We will be back with more in just 90 seconds. Welcome back. Bottom third here. We are scoreless. And Neely Phelps is due up for the Athletics. Here's the first pitch to him. That's a called strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's outside, ball 1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Now the count is 1-2 to Neely Phelps. The 1-2. It's lined right at the shortstop. He's got it. That's the first down of the inning. That'll bring up Frank Barrows, the right fielder. Here's the first pitch. That's a called strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. It's 0-2 now to Frank Barrows. Looking for just his third hit of the season. Here's the 0-2. That's grounded to the back. Oh, that's a drop third strike. And he strikes out swinging. They get it over to first. How was my day? My day was good. I got some stuff done. Ziggurat was really kind to me, and he gifted me PGA 2K25. So I got to play that for about 2-3 hours today. It's really good. It's a lot of fun, actually. But yeah, it was good. How was yours, baseball fan? Here's the first pitch to Bobby Matthews. That's below the knees, ball one. I don't, because the leak that I saw came from Out of Context Football Manager, and I wouldn't believe a word that account says. Here's the 1-0. Popped up. Back into the screens and over into the crowd. The 1-1 outside ball 2, and it's 2-1 now. Here's the 2-1. Grounded up the hole, base hit, and finally the Athletics have a base runner. And it comes via their pitcher. That's going to bring up John Hatfield. No, not the NBA game. No. The PGA game. The golf game. I'm not one for basketball. I've bought, I think, 2 NBA games in the last 10 years. I'm not one for basketball at all. Yeah. That is golf, yeah. It's a lot of fun. It feels really good, actually. Right, here's the first pitch to John Hatfield. That's a called strike. 0-1. That's all good. It's all good, baseball fan. I enjoy it. I definitely enjoy it. Here's the 0-1. That's lined right at the shortstop. He's got it, and that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left on base. We go top 4, and we are still no score. Right, this fourth inning brought to you by Leo the Mitsala. If you're not already following him, give him a follow. He streams Football Manager. He was streaming Valheim with Going Off Games. So if you're not following him already, you're into Football Manager content, give him a follow. The fantastic Leo the Mitsala. Due up first for the Washington Olympics will be third baseman John Radcliffe. I've not drunk any water during this. I should probably do that now. I don't know why Stream Elements is not reminding me to. Right, here's the first pitch to Radcliffe. That's taken for a called strike. 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's lined deep into left field, right at the left fielder, though, and that'll be the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Charlie Mills, who grounded out his first at bat. Here's the first pitch to him. That's a ball, 1-0. Pampas Fritas. Why are you hiding in the janitor room? Do I want to know? Here's a 1-0. Popped it up. Right in front of home plate. Catcher will make the grab. That's the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Tom Berry, the right fielder. 0-1. Slide out to right field, his first at bat. There will be skins. It's getting colder here, baseball fan. It's certainly been, I've had a cardigan that I wear in the mornings now, and I've had to the last few mornings. Here's the first pitch. That's outside, ball one. Skull. It's a game for the PC. If somebody wants to make a skin, they will be able to make a skin. If they know Unity coding, they will be able to make a skin for the game. I wanted to say hi. The service got to be. Oh, I got you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. At launch, there's not going to be any skins because nobody's going to have made anything yet. But people know Unity. So people who play Football Manager who know Unity can dive into the coding of the game and customize it. So they probably will be able to make one. I mean, installing a skin might be completely different. You might not have a skins folder, and you might not be able to just drop in and plug and play. But where there's a will, there's a way. There's going to be a way. So. Let me put it this way. Koei Tecmo did not want people to make mods for Dead or Alive 5 or Dead or Alive 6. And we have a plethora of mods for Dead or Alive 5 and Dead or Alive 6 now. Those games have been out long enough. It'll happen. Here's the 1-0. That's a called strike. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1. That's lined deep into center field. Center fielder coming forward, and that will be the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We go bottom fourth. We have no score. We are going to take a 90-second timeout. We will be back with more in just a minute and a half. That was so odd. I don't know why. I don't know why that was odd. Right. Welcome back. Bottom fourth here in Philadelphia. No score still at the Jefferson Street grounds. Game time an hour 5. 5 more minutes. Oh, till you can go on your run. Gotcha. Leading off for the Philadelphia Athletics will be catcher Scott Hastings. He popped up his first at bat. Here's the first pitch. That's high for ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Grounded over to second. That's on to first. That's in time, and that'll be the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Tom York, who flied out to right field. His first at bat. Here's the first pitch. That's high. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0. He's popped that straight up to the shortstop. He makes the play. And that's 2 down here already. That's going to bring up Ed Pinkham, the third baseman. He lined out his first at bat. Here's the first pitch to him. Outside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Below the knees, ball 2. Here's the 2-0. Grounded over, that's foul. 2-1 the count. Here's the pitch. That one's in the dirt. And it's 3-1. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Called, strike 2, and now the count is full, 3-2. Here's the 3-2. That's grounded over to short. On to first, that's in time, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We go top 5th here in Philadelphia, and we still have no score. This 5th inning brought to you by Skull Crusher, FM 24, FIFA, some other games as well. Go give him a follow if you haven't already and you're into FM content. Also plays COD Warzone. It's Skull Crusher. Right. Al Pratt is due up. He was hit by the pitch his first at bat. Here's the first pitch. Grounded over to short. That's on to first. That's in time. And it's the first out of the inning. Onana 2.0. Oh my God. That brings up Ed Duffy, second baseman. He is 0 for 2. Or I'm sorry, he's 1 for 2. Here's the first pitch. That's the outside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's lined into left field. Is that going to drop? It is. It's a base hit. And Duffy's got his second hit on the afternoon. Stupid bank. Gotcha. Here's Tom Foley trying to bunt over. That's bunted foul. Here's the 0-1. He swung on. That's in for a hit in right field. Foley gets to second safely. And going to third is going to be Duffy. Now runners on second and third with 1 out. That'll bring up Ned Cuthbert. He's 0 for 1 today. Here's the first pitch. That's fouled to the backstop. Here's the 0-1. That's going to get by the catcher. Looked like a wild pitch. Safe! It's actually a pass ball. Safe at home is Ed Duffy. He scores. Going to third base is Tom Foley, and the Washington Olympics take the lead. That's impressive. 6 giveaways for FM20. That's impressive. Here's Ned Cuthbert. Here's the 1-1. Grounded to the backstop again. There's the 1-2. Inside, ball 2. I'm sure it wouldn't be. You just tell one to re-roll. There's the 2-1. That's outside, ball 3. Full count to Cuthbert. He's fouled it back. Wouldn't it be funny if you won all 5? What would the odds of that be? Full count, here's the pitch. And that he's walked him. It's high, it's a base on balls. He's walked him aboard. That'll bring up John Bass. Oh, wow. Here's the first pitch to Bass. Swung on and missed, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Grounded to the backstop. 0-2 count now. Check swing, but he didn't go, and it's inside. Ball 1. 1-2. That's outside, ball 2. Here's the 2-2. That's lined deep in the left center field. Is it going to drop for a base hit? No, the center fielder's under it. He makes the catch. The runner from third, which is Tom Foley, will tag up successfully. And that's an RBI. For John Bass. Here's the first pitch. That is lined into, that's popped up. That's going to be gloved, and that will be the final out of the inning. 2 runs on 2 hits, and they leave 1 aboard. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Washington has found the breakthrough. They lead by a score of 2-0. 2 up first for the Philadelphia Athletics is shortstop Dickie Pierce. We are going to take a quick 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just a minute and a half. Right, welcome back. Bottom 5th here in Philadelphia. The Washington Olympics, lead by a score of 2-0. Dickie Pierce at the plate. Here's the first pitch to him. Grounded over to, oh, that's a bad, that's an E4. It's an E4. And Dovey gets credited with the error. And Dickie Pierce is aboard. That'll bring up Dick Higham. Second baseman, he's 0 for 1. He flied out his last at bat. Here's the pitch. That's called strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. He's flied that into left field. Is that going to stay fair? No. And just lands foul. Here's the 0-2. Fouled back to the screens. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's lined into left field. That's deep. It's going back. It's off the base of the warning track. This is going to be a huge hit. And Dick Higham. Yeah, Dick Higham has got himself an RBI triple here. And the Phillies get one back. Pierce scored all the way from third. Or all the way from first. Yeah, he went. Crowd not so loud tonight. We need a big inning. They got a big start. Runner on third, nobody out. Brings up Neely Phelps. He lined out his first at bat. Here's the first pitch. Swung on and missed, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's low for a ball. Nice. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed again. It's 1-2. Here's the 1-2. That's outside, ball 2. Here's the 2-2. Grounded over to third. That is fair. It is fair. And it is going to be an E5. Phelps is aboard. Third baseman John Radcliffe gets credited with the error. And Higham darts home off that. We got ourselves a tie game. Barrows grounds over to second. On to short for one, and that'll be a fielder's choice. So one out, runner on first. Here is Bobby Matthews up to the plate. He had a single his last at bat. Here's the first pitch, trying to bunt the man over. That's a ball. Here's the 1-0. He's lined that into center field. Center fielder coming in for it. He will grab it. Runner will not advance, and it will be 2 down now. Back to the top of the order. John Hatfield 2 up, 0 for 2, 2 lineouts. Drove over to first. He's back in time. We need to see a home run. We had one on Monday. It's a pitch out. It is pretty iconic. I do love it as well. Here's the 1-0. That's lined right back through. Base hit. Barrows gets the second. And now that'll bring up Bob Hastings. I'm sorry, Scott Hastings, who is 0 for 2. Pop up in a ground out. That's inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. That's fouled. Here's the 1-1. Outside ball 2. And the 2-1 now. Swung on and missed. 2-2. Here's the 2-2. That is shot into center field, going way back on it. The center fielder can't grab it. It's a base hit. And Hatfield is into second. I'm sorry, Hatfield goes to third. Barrows will score. And it's an RBI double for Scott Hastings, and the Athletics lead it now 3-2. That'll bring up Tom York, center fielder. Popped up and flied out. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0. He's grounded that back to the backstop. Here's the 1-1. That's inside, ball 2. 2-1 now to count. Here's the pitch. That's lined right at the shortstop, and that will be the final out of the inning. I'm sorry, not shortstop. That was the second baseman line to. Right, 3 runs on 3 hits, and they leave 2 aboard. We go top 6th, and it is 3-2 Athletics. This 6th inning brought to you by First Goal Series. FM streamer. They also do some Liverpool watch-alongs because they're a big Liverpool fan. So if you like watching the football with somebody and you like Football Manager, give them a follow. They also play Time Guesser on stream quite a bit. Fantastic streamer. Give them a follow if you haven't already. First Goal Series. Right. But John Ratcliffe due up here for the Washington Olympics. He is 0 for 2 so far today. Here's the first pitch to him. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. Here's the 1-0-1. Swung on and missed. 0-2 now to Ratcliffe. Here's the 0-2. Grounded over to first. It's an E1. It's an E3. Ratcliffe is aboard on an error by first baseman Neely Phelps. That's going to bring up Charlie Mills, the catcher. He's 0 for 2. That's inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Fouled, and it's 1-1. Throw over to first, and he's back safely. Here's the 1-1. It's the bunts down. They go to second for it. Safe at second. What's up, Stuart? How are you, my guy? Runners first and second, nobody out. Here's the pitch to Todd Berry. No. It's a pinch hitter. What do I remember? But I'm not that old, bro. So you've got 4 matches, had a good time doing it. Nice, man. I'd be doing a lot better if the Phillies could just understand how to score runs. Right. This is Jim Carlton, who's in for Tom Berry here in the 6th inning. First pitch, that's outside, ball 1. Here's a 1-0. Swung on and missed, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. That's grounded over towards the, oh, that's a bad error. And E4 puts Carlton aboard. Going to second will be Mills. Going to third will be Radcliffe. And now the bases are loaded with nobody out. That's going to bring up Al Pratt, the pitcher. Just a bit outside. Tried to take the corner and missed. Here's the first pitch to Al Pratt. Fouled off. The 0-1. That's high, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. In the dirt, 2-1. Here's the 2-1. Rounded over to third baseman. Are they going to go home? They got the lead runner at home. Mills goes to third. Carlton gets the second. Pratt will be aboard. And there's one out. Back to the top of the order. It's Ed Duffy due up. Here's the first pitch. That's taken for a called strike. Next pitch is grounded over to first. They get the lead runner home. Safe at first on the throwback. Carlton goes to third. Pratt goes to second. Duffy gets on base. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Here's Scott Hastings. I'm sorry, here's Tom Foley, not Scott Hastings. Tom Foley. First pitch, that's high and away for a ball. Here's the 1-0. Popped up right at the pitcher's mound. Shortstop coming in for it. He'll make the play. And the side is retired. They get out of a big jam, Philadelphia. No runs, no hits. They leave the bases loaded. We go bottom 6th here. The Athletics lead it by a score 3-2. We are going to be back. We're going to take a quick 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just a minute and a half. Welcome back. It is currently bottom 6th in Philadelphia at the Jefferson Street grounds. Athletics leading it by a score of 3-2. Ed Pinkham is due up first for Philadelphia. He's 0 for 2. Here's the first pitch to him. Swung on and missed. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's lined foul. Here's the 1-1. I'm sorry, the 0-2. That's outside, ball 1. Here's the 1-2. Grounded foul. The 1-2. That's grounded foul again. Here's the 1-2. Steal foul. Here we go again, 1-2. That's high, ball 2. 2-2. And this is foul down the right field line. Nice. When was that war again, baseball fan? 8th pitch of the at-bat. Here we go. 2-2. Fouled off. We continue. Here's the 2-2. Grounded over to short. Long throw on to first. He's got him in time. That's going to bring up Dickie Pierce, who's 0 for 2. Here's the first pitch to him. That's a called strike. It's on 1. Here's the 0-1. Inside. Ball 1. The 1-1 pitch now. Grounded over to third. On to first. It's a bad throw. And it is another E5. Well, this time it's an E5, the second E5 of the game. And John Radcliffe getting credited with the error. That'll bring up Dick Higham, second baseman. He is 1 for 2. Here's the first pitch. That is a ball, 1-0. Right, so the Civil War had literally just ended pretty much when professional baseball started up. Wasn't long after. Here's the 1-0. That's lined into right field. That's base hit. Dick Higham grabs his second hit of the afternoon. Going to second is Dickie Pierce. And it's first and second now with 1 out. That'll bring up Neely Phelps, the first baseman. Here's the first pitch. That's called strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's lined right at the shortstop. He's gotten it for the second out. That's going to bring up Frank Barrows. Barrows is currently 0 for 2. Here's the first pitch to him. Inside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. That's called strike. It's 1-1. Wide. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed. 1-2. Here's the 1-2. That's lined into right field. Another base hit. Getting down. It might be runs here. No, it will not. They will hold Dickie Pierce at third. Higham goes to second. Barrows is aboard on first. And now it's bases loaded. With 2 outs. I drive by that, or I drive by the Brandywine one. Keep thinking it's not the Gettysburg one. They're two counties west. I don't really have a favorite war. War's not really a topic I enjoy. Right, that brings up Bobby Matthews. He's 1 for 2. Here's the first pitch to him. Chance for the insurance runs. Matthews able to deliver him himself, maybe. He takes a called strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's lined right. It's through. It's a base hit. And Bobby Matthews does deliver. He gives himself some insurance runs, and he's got himself an RBI single. Coming in to score is Dickie Pierce. Going to third is Dick Higham. Frank Barrows gets to second. And it's 4-2 Philadelphia. That's going to bring up the top of the order in John Hatfield. He's 1 for 3 so far today. First pitch is a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's below the knees. 1-1. Here's the 1-1. That's fouled. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. That's high and away. Ball 2. 2-2. That's below the knees. 3-2. Full count. Fouled off. Here's the 3-2. That's lined into center field. That's a base hit. More runs coming in. Hatfield delivers with the bat. He's got an RBI single. Higham scores. Barrows gets the third. Is there two? Oh, it's a 2-run RBI. I'm looking at it going, what the? It's a 2-run RBI. Barrows scores on the play. Matthews goes to third. And Hatfield gets a 2-run RBI single. I had to read that like 3 times. Right, that brings up Scott Hastings, the catcher. Here's the first pitch to him. Called strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's lined, it's right at the shortstop. Over to second, he's got it. 3 runs on 4 hits, and they leave 2 aboard. We go to the top of the 7th. It is 6-2 Philadelphia. Ned Cuthbert due up first for the Washington Olympics. What happened here? Oh. Okay. Here's the first pitch to Cuthbert. That's inside, ball 1. There's the 1-0. Down and away, ball 2. There's the 2-0. That's in. That's a fair ball. And that's going to be extra bases. The throw over to second. And it's a leadoff double for Ned Cuthbert. Washington maybe with a chance to get something back here. This brings up John Bass. Runner on second, nobody out. Here's the first pitch to Bass. That's fouled to the backstop. Here's the 0-1. Called, strike two. And it's 0-2. Here's the 0-2. That's away, ball one. The 1-2 pitch. Outside, ball two. A 2-2. He's popped it up. Shortstop coming in for it. He's going to make the play. That's going to bring up Charlie Gold. Gold is 1 for 3 so far today. That's grounded over. That's an E6 again. Going to third. No, staying on second is Cuthbert. But that is Dickie Pierce's 4th error of the afternoon. That'll bring up John Radcliffe, the third baseman. He's 0 for 3. Here's the first pitch. He's lined this into left field. And that'll be the out. And the Phillies are out of the playoffs. Right. First and second. Here's a pitch to Charlie Mills. That's a ball. 1-0. Kirkering made an error. Right, here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Called, strike two. It's 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's high, ball two. Here's the 2-2. Rounded over to second. They'll go for first. They get it there in time, and that will retire the side. No runs on one hit, and they leave two aboard. We go to the bottom of the set. It is 7th inning stretch time here in Philadelphia. Athletics lead it by a score of 6-2. As always, we're going to take a break to stretch the legs. We'll leave you with this rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. You heard the man. Play ball is the call. What's up, Thomas? Good to see you, brother. Welcome in. Welcome back, First Goal Series. Bottom seventh here in Philadelphia. Athletics lead it by a score 6-2. Due up first for Phillies center fielder Tom York. Hoop balls well and Benny in chat. I just saw the Phils lose in an 11th inning walk-off, and they're out of the playoffs, Thomas. That tells you about how good the night's been. It's been fine, to be fair. I expected them to lose tonight. Yeah, I expected them to lose tonight. Philadelphia's sports hopes ride now. Philadelphia's 2025 sports hopes ride with a team in Chester, Pennsylvania. Union all the way. Union all the way. That is unfortunate. It's really annoying to watch this team play really good baseball for 162 games. And they get to the postseason and they just cannot fucking score. And everyone talks about Ohtani, and how good of a player he is. And they keep him relatively quiet throughout the whole series. And their starting pitchers give up, 5 runs through 4 games, 6 runs through 4 games. It was like something tiny, and they just can't score. It's really, the bats, for the 3rd straight postseason, the Philly bats fell quiet. He should probably get out of Philly, in all honesty, because he's just not. You're right, and I'm not saying he should get out of Philly because of that throw. I'm just saying He is the kind of pitcher that has blown games for the Phillies before. So I don't think he's going to be like, what was that guy? The chicken arm guy. The guy that used to go like this when he was, they used to, yeah. They chased him out of Philly after he blew like 3 saves in the postseason, just a year or two ago. I can't remember his name. It's gonna haunt me. That's still to this day, by the way, FGS, one of my favorite videos. And that's before he ever became a Philly. He used to do this thing where he would lean over the mound, right? Like when he was looking for the catcher's call, and instead of like leaning in, he would lean in and his arm would go out like this. So what happened is there's a video of the Phillies fans when he comes on. They're all going like this whenever he's like in the windup. And like they all stand up and are going like this, and then when he actually gets into the windup, they all sit down. And then the next pitch comes and he leans in and he does the thing, and all the Phillies fans get up out of their seats and they're going like that again. And then when he goes into the windup, they all sit back down again. I'm like, what? Is this the video? Is this the video? Is this what it is? Hold on. Yeah. Kimbrel, yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's it. I fucking love that video. People tell me Philly fans are terrible, bro. That is fucking hysterical. You can't tell me that's not fucking Thomas, go look at that, by the way. Go look at that. This is so good. This is I love it. I love that so much. Oh my god. I'm watching now. That's so funny. It's amazing. It's so funny. Oh my god. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that sent me, and it's so many. Well, then he played. The thing is, he played for us then, right, in 2022, I want to say, and he blew like 3 saves in the postseason for us, and Philly fans were like, he's got to go, and so ownership got rid of him. You know what I mean? They traded him away. I feel like Kirkering's going to be the same thing now. Right, we got a game to finish here. Bottom 7th. Tom York is up. Here's the first pitch. That's low and away for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Line to right, that's through, base hit. And Tom York is aboard with a hit. His first of the afternoon. That's going to bring up Ed Pinkham. He's 0 for 3 so far today. Here's the first pitch. That's a called strike. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Grounded over towards the second baseman. He has fumbled it. It's an E4. And that is second baseman Ed Duffy with his second error of the afternoon. I know. Well, this is the first year of professional baseball. So this would have been the first year of professional baseball. So there's the first pitch. This is going to bring up Dickie Pierce, by the way. He's 0 for 3. There's the first pitch to Pierce. Ball 1-1. First and second, nobody out. 1-0 pitch in the dirt. 2-0. Here's the 2-0. That's lined through the gap between second and first. It's a base hit. Their last day of work was the day before. There you go. That brings up Dick Hagum. He's 1 for 3. He's got an RBI. Sorry, he's 2 for 3. And he's got an RBI. Bases loaded now. Here's the first pitch. That's a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. It's lined right at the second baseman. That's the first out. And they got, no, he's safe. They called him safe. Oh, I think that's a bad call. He didn't look safe to me. He did not look safe to me. But it is just the 1 out. And that'll bring up Neely Phelps, who's 0 for 3. Here's the first pitch. And that's a base hit. That's runs. Coming in to score is Tom York. Ed Pinkham goes to third. Dickie Pierce goes to second. And Philly picks up a 1-out RBI here in the bottom 7th. 7-2. Frank Barrows is the next batter. He is 1 for 3 so far today. Here's the first pitch. That's outside for a ball. Here's the 1-0. He's popped it up. Shortstop coming in. He'll make the grab. And that's 2 down here in the bottom 7th. That brings up pitcher Bobby Matthews. He's 2 for 3. How was your day, FGS? How you been, man? I hope you're doing well, bro. Here's the first pitch to Matthews. That is a swung one. Safe at first. It's at home. It's a pass ball. He swung and it's a pass ball. Scoring is Pinkham. Dickie Pierce goes to third. Neely Phelps goes to second, and it's now 8-2. You know, I've never had a flu shot. I've had the flu. But just baseball. You got the Cubs Brewers on? Because you're a Cubs fan, aren't you? Go Cubs go. There you go. Right, second and third. Here's the 0-1. That's grounded foul. Here's the 0-2. Lined over to short. On to first. That's a bad throwing error. It's an E6. Dickie Pierce scores. Neely Phelps goes to third. And the inning will continue. John Bass gets credited with the error. And that brings up John Hatfield. He is 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Here's the first pitch to Hatfield. That's called strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's lined back through. That's a base hit. More runs. Hatfield's got himself aboard with a single. It's an RBI, his third of the afternoon. Phelps will score. Matthews goes to second. And it's now 10-2. That'll bring up Scott Hastings. We're going to have a pitching change. Davey Force will come onto the mound. Here's the pitch. That's grounded back. Here's the pitch. That's lined right at the third baseman, and that will retire the side. 4 runs on 4 hits. And they leave 2 aboard. We go top 8th here in Philadelphia. It is 10-2 Philly. Not Phillies, Athletics. Other than the Phillies, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right. I got 1 day of work tomorrow, Thomas, and then I'm off for 4 days. Which is just fantastic. You're working 3 days in a row? How many hours each day? Here's the first pitch. That's a called strike, 0-1. It is Jim. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's another sub. I'm sorry. I thought it was going to be Jim Carlton. So not too bad. Yeah, but what are the shifts? Are they 14-hour shifts? I hope you enjoy your days off, though. I will. Right, it's Bob Armstrong here. He's subbing in for Jim Carlton. Oh, that's good. You say that as if you're not awake at 3 a.m. Here's the 0-1. That's grounded over towards second. That's another fielding error. And Carlton, 14 across the 3, gotcha. Carlton is aboard on an E4, which is Dick Higgham getting credited with the error. That brings up Bobby Matthews. No. That brings up Davey Force, the pitcher. Oh, Jesus. There's the first pitch to him. And he's popped it up. That's going to be the first baseman that makes the play. Oh, that's it. Here's Ed Duffy. Grounds out to the first baseman. And that will be the second out of the inning. Hey, Busy Baron. Baron, my Phillies just got eliminated, bro. But aside from that, I'm doing well, man. How are you? Here's the first pitch to Tom Foley. That's inside for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Inside, ball 2. Counters 2-0 now. Here's a 2-0 pitch. That's going to be a pass ball. Wild pitch. Going to third is Armstrong. I wish I could save Scott my IRL. Right, here's the 3-0. That's called strike. It's 3-1. The 3-1 pitch to Tom Foley. He's lined that right at the second baseman. He gloves it for the out, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits. They leave one aboard. We go bottom 8th here in Philadelphia. The Athletics leading by a score of 10-2. Due up first for the Philadelphia Athletics is center fielder Tom York. We are going to take a final 90-second timeout. We'll be back with more in just a minute and a half. Right, welcome back. You're great, though. Nice. I'm glad to hear. Bottom 8th here in Philly. Athletics have a 10-2 lead here. Davey Force is on the mound. And due up first is Tom York. York is 1 for 4 so far today. Here's the first pitch. Outside, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Called strike. 1-1. Here's the 1-1. That's high, ball 2. Here's the 2-1. He's popped it up. Second baseman coming over. He'll make the grab, and that will retire York. That's going to bring up Ed Pinkham. He is 0 for 4 so far today. Here's the first pitch to Pinkham.
Evil
That's
soul.
a called strike.
Quit your groveling. I will send you to
Zen.
hell.
Welcome in, my man. Thank you for the 50 bits, man. You're crazy. Hope all is well. The Phils are just a colossal disappointment, Zan. Really, honestly. Yankees too. I put a meme of the Yankees. I saw Gimpo earlier, right? You did not. What's up, Pat? Right. 0-1 to count. Here's the pitch. That's lined into left field, staying fair, and it just lands foul. Here's the 0-2. Outside, ball 1. Here's the 1-2. Inside, ball 2. Here's the 2-2. Inside, ball 3, and just like that, Pinkham's fought back to a full count. Here's the pitch. Grounded over to first. Gives it to the pitcher who comes over, and that will retire Pinkham. 3-1 on the put out, and that brings up Dickie Pierce, who's going to be substituted. Joe Quest will step in for Dickie Pierce. Here's the first pitch to him. He's chopped that foul. Good morning, Pat. Here's the 0-1. And that's lined in. That's a base hit from Joe Quest. It's going to lead to another substitution. Charlie Sweezy will come in. Substituting in for Dick Higham. Here's the first pitch to Sweezy. That's outside for a ball. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1. That's inside, ball 2. Here's the 2-1. That's grounded foul, 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's popped up. Lands foul. Here's the 2-2. That's lined right at the second baseman. He will glove it for the final out. I did see that they advanced to the quarterfinals, right? Yeah. That Kermeshi they have is so good. He plays for Inter Miami. He's so good. No runs, no hits. I'm sorry, no runs off 1 hit. And they leave 1 aboard. We go top 9 here. 10-2 Philadelphia. It's going to bring up Ned Cuthbert to start. Here's the first pitch to him. That's down and away. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0. He's popped it up right along the first base side. And that'll be the first out of the inning. Next up is John Bass. Here's the first pitch to him. Swung on and missed. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Outside, ball 1. Here's the 1-2. That's lined right back up the middle, base hit. Bass has got his first base hit of the afternoon. That'll bring up Charlie Gold. Giants. What Giants? Let's go Giants, though. What are Giants? You've lost me with the Giants. I don't know what you're referring to. Right. Here's the first pitch to Charlie Gold. It's lined right back up the middle. That's another base hit. Going to second is Bass. Gold is in with a single. That'll bring up John Radcliffe. He's 0 for 4. Here's the first pitch. That's called strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That's low, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Inside, ball 2. There's a 2-1. That's grounded foul. 2-2. That's lined into center. That's another base hit. It could be runs as well. Bass holds at third. Bass holds at third. Radcliffe's got a single. Gold is on second base. Brings up Charlie Mills. Here's the first pitch to him. That's popped up. Right at the first baseman. That'll be the second out of the inning. Down to their last out. It's Bob Armstrong. Here's the first pitch. That's high for a ball. Here's the 1-0. He's grounded that over to first, and stepping on the bag is Neely Phelps. And this ball game is over. They get no runs on 3 hits, and they leave 3 aboard. They leave the bases loaded. Nothing here in the top 9th for Washington, and that is how it will finish. Final score, the Washington Olympics 2, the Philadelphia Athletics 10. Let's bring out the pen and do your full scorecard here. Ed Duffy. We'll start with the visiting Washington Olympics. Ed Duffy, 5 at-bats. He had 2 hits. He had 1 run. He had 2 fielding errors. Tom Foley. He had 4 at-bats. He finished with 1 hit. He also scored a run. Ned Cuthbert. He had 4 at-bats. He had 2 hits, 1 of which was a double. I'm sorry, he had 3 at-bats. 3 at-bats. He had one hit. It was a double. He took a base on balls, and he was caught stealing as well. Uh, John Bass, he had 5 at bats, 1 hit. He scored an RBI, and he had 1 fielding error. Charlie Gold, 5 at bats for him, 2 hits. And he stole a base. John Ratcliffe had 5 at bats. He had 1 hit. He made 2 fielding errors. Charlie Mills had 4 at bats. He did not record a hit. Tom Berry had 2 at bats. He did not record a hit. Al Pratt had 2 at bats. He did not record a hit. He was also hit by the pitch. Jim Carlton had 1 at bat. It was not for a hit. Bob Armstrong had 2 at bats. He did not record a hit. Davey Forge had 1 at bat. He did not record a hit. Total at bats for the Washington Olympics: 5 and 4 is 9 and 3 is 12 and 5 is 23. Here 28, 32, 34, 36, 37, 30, 40 at bats. Total hits: 1, 2, 3. Total runs: 2. Total hits: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8. They have 8. That's good. Total fielding errors: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 base on balls. 1 double. 1 RBI. 1 stolen base. Forgot to put in the sack bunts. Tom Foley had a sack bunt, and Charlie Mills had a sack bunt as well. So 2 sacks as well. You got a new monitor. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Italian football and being sleepy? No, never. Right. Pitchers. This is the big one I need. Al Pratt did 6 2/3 innings. So 6.2 for. He is the losing pitcher. I have 115 pitches. That is correct. 115. He had the base on balls as well. No, he did not have a base on balls. He did have the strikeout, though. He gave up 12 hits. He gave up 10 runs. Only a single one of those runs was earned. And then Davey Force did 1.1 innings. I have his pitch count at 20. He did not give up a base on balls. He only gave up 1 hit, and he did not give up any runs. So no runs, nothing earned. Spain, Colombia, that's going to be a good one. Yep, that'll be a good game. Right, over to the Philadelphia Athletics now. Jim Hatfield, 5 at bats, 3 hits, 3 RBIs. Scott Hastings, 5 at bats, 1 hit. It was a double and an RBI. Tom York, 5 at bats, 1 hit, and he scored a run. Let's see here. Ed Pinkham, 5 at bats, no hits, but he scored a run. Dickie Pierce, 4 at bats, 1 hit. He scored 3 runs, and he made 4 fielding errors. Dick Higgham, 4 at bats, 2 hits, 1 of which was a triple, 1 RBI, 2 runs, 1 fielding error. Neely Phelps, 4 at bats, 1 hit. It was an RBI. He scored a run. One fielding error. Frank Burrows, 4 at-bats, 2 runs, 1 hit. He struck out once as well. Bobby Matthews, 4 at-bats, 2 hits, 1 RBI. And then Joe Quest, 1 at-bat, 1 hit. Charlie Sweary, 1 at-bats, no hits. So, total at-bats for the Philadelphia Athletics, 5, 10, 15, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 42 at-bats for the Philadelphia Athletics. Runs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. What does the game have? 13, good. Second base, 1 double, 1 triple, no base on balls, 6 fielding errors, 1 strikeout, no stolen bases. How many RBIs? I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 RBIs. They really did well to bat him in. Wow. Lastly, the pitcher. That's 4 a.m. for me. Wow, nice. Bobby Matthews gets the win. He pitched all 9 innings. I have his pitch count at 123. No base on 1 base on balls. No strikeouts. He gave up 8 hits. Yep. 2 runs, and neither of them were earned. And there you have it. Official attendance was 1,089. Time of the game, 2 hour 49. We're almost done here. So we're going to click on leave game. Here's other games around the ground. Chicago White Stockings get back to even with a huge 13-5 win over the Fort Wayne Kekiungas, who also fall to even. They're 6-6. Troy Haymakers fall 12-5 to the Cleveland Forest Cities. Cleveland Forest Cities move to 3-4. The Troy Haymakers go to 3-7. We're going to advance into the 29th. The next game will be the 2-4 Cleveland Forest Cities at the 2-4 Rockford Forest Cities. That'll be the next game. That is the final game in May. And then we are into June. Here are your current standings as things are. New York Mutual still top 4-3 in the National League. Chicago White Stockings move to a half game behind with their win. Fort Wayne Kekiungas drop to a half game back with their loss. Troy Haymakers' loss puts them 2.5 games back. Rockford Forest Cities, we are also 2.5 games back. Boston Red Stockings, still the best team in baseball. They are 7-2. The Philadelphia Athletics wins pulls them back to within a game. At 5-2, Washington Olympics, that loss drops them 2.5 games back. They are 4-4. Cleveland Forest Cities, their win moves them to 3 games back. They are 3-4. Remember, the World Series is only the top team in the NL versus the top team in the AL at the end of the season. So we are approaching the midseason now. So one more game and we're into the middle of the season. So how about that? Teams, remember where is it? Is it under leagues and teams? Is it under rules? Where is it? Is it under options? Yeah, there it is. The number of games per team is 32. Everyone's only going to play 32 games. Okay? The Fort Wayne Kekiungas have already played 12 of them. So we're starting to get a little far into the season. Or we at least made good progress into the season, that's for sure. Right. That is it from me. Pat Witz, Zan, Thomas Rolls, Busy Baron, DM Stewart, First Goal Series, IT Kid, Skull Crusher, Leo the Matsala, Swanky Pants, Baseball Fan, Pixelated Suits. Thank you for joining. For those on YouTube, this is the end of the recording. We'll see you for the next one. Until then, take care.